Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Monday, December 30th, 2024. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most in college hoops and other sports, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday in college hoops. First up, we start Big 12 play with Cincinnati and Kansas State. This one is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on CBS Sports Network. Obviously, Cincinnati's off to a great start to the season, 17th in the AP polls. Right now, they're 22nd in KenPom, and they're 10-1 straight up. Their only loss at Villanova, really no shame in a loss like that. But for me, Cincinnati's only had a few true road games. They have that win against Georgia Tech, which was, a solid true road win by 23 points. The other one against Northern Kentucky doesn't really tell us too much. And then, of course, losing to Villanova. For me, I do think Cincinnati's a little bit overrated and overvalued right now. I think Kansas State is kind of the flip side. The Wildcats are 6-5 straight up. They've lost 3 straight games. Definitely not playing well right now. But I also view this as kind of a buy low spot for a team and a program that I do trust still under Jerome Tang. He's one of the better coaches in the Big 12. And I think the Christmas break is going to help Kansas State in this game and going forward. Fundamentally, still a solid team. I think turnover-wise, they'll be able to compete in this game. They do have to, be sharp on the defensive glass. Cincinnati's a good offensive rebounding team, but so is Kansas State. I think K-State keeps up in this one, and I think they have a great home court advantage, and it leads them to victory outright as they pull off a big upset win to kind of kickstart their season. So give me the points and Kansas State on the money line in this one. Next up, we stay in the Big 12 as TCU takes on Arizona. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on ESPN+. Now, TCU, we backed them in their last game against Montana State, and they earned a blowout win for us, 82-48. But I don't love this spot for the Horned Frogs. Now, on the road, only their second true road game of the season. Their first one was a double-digit loss to Michigan, and I think this is going to be another double-digit loss here. Arizona is a team that offensively we've known the last 5-10 years, very potent offenses from the Wildcats, but the defense I think is really underrated. And last year it was a solid defense, but even this season, forcing tough shots, holding teams to 1 shot per trip, one of the best rebounding teams in all of college basketball. I think Arizona, I think they're really a team to watch out for in the conference just because they have 5 losses and they're 6-5 straight up. They played a really tough strength of schedule in non-conference play. Their losses were really not bad losses. Wisconsin, Duke, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and UCLA, all those teams are top 50 in KenPom. I know TCU is, a power school, and they've got the back-to-back wins to go into conference play with, but while I think TCU can compete defensively, I don't think their offense is good enough. I don't think they can go score for score with a fast-paced, potent Arizona offense. Give me Arizona in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we have Iowa State and Colorado. This one, 9 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. This is actually the second time these teams have met this year. The first meeting was in a non-conference tournament, so it was actually technically not a Big 12 game, but it was a 99-71 Iowa State blowout win. And I'm all for revenge spots. I love taking teams playing with revenge, especially when you're coming off a blowout loss to the opponent in the same season. But for me, I don't see where Colorado can make up the difference in this second meeting. And yes, it's a home game for the Buffs, but when you look at this Iowa State team, they have one huge advantage, and that's a turnover battle. A team that takes care of the ball and forces a ton of turnovers, going up against a Colorado team that's losing the ball about 20% of their possessions, not forcing turnovers themselves, and they're also not a great offensive rebounding team. So when you're playing an Iowa State defense that forces tough shots and a lot of turnovers, if you're not able to get those second chance opportunities, you're really going to struggle to score. And when you look at that first game between these two, Colorado shot 42% from 3. It was actually a 94% from the free throw line, 42% from 3, and they still lost the game by 28 points. And it's not like we're having to lay anywhere near 28 in this second meeting. It's actually a pretty reasonable price because it's a true road game, a conference game, a revenge spot. I think Iowa State forces 15-plus turnovers yet again, and as long as they don't go ice cold from the floor shooting-wise, they should be able to win this game and cover the number. Next up, Gonzaga and Pepperdine in the West Coast Conference. This one is 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Gonzaga definitely let us down in their last game against UCLA. I really like the Bulldogs in that matchup, and it was a competitive game, but Gonzaga fell short 65-62. I look for a frustrated effort and a bounce back spot here for Gonzaga now in conference play. We know Gonzaga in recent years, and not just the last 10 plus years, in some of these games in West Coast play where they're playing inferior opponents, we've seen some really crooked final scores. And especially coming off a loss, I think Gonzaga puts together a big blowout win, even on the road. Pepperdine, for me, not one of my favorite teams in the West Coast Conference. I give them credit for covering against Santa Clara in their last game. It was a game where they were down big early. They were able to fight back to make it a more respectable final score. But I think Gonzaga is the much better team on both sides of the ball. They dominated Pepperdine last year by 25 and 26 points, and we're laying less than that in this one. So give me Gonzaga. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we have Santa Clara and San Francisco. This one is going to be 10 p.m. Eastern as well on ESPN+. I think one of the better games on the board for Monday. And, San Francisco got the better of us in that last game against Loyola Marymount. They won that one by 15 points and covered the spread. But I still think San Fran is a little bit overrated right now. I think Santa Clara is the better team in this game. They're the more experienced team in terms of returning production. They played a really tough non-conference schedule. And I like their chances for the outright win in this game. I think the price is right, getting a few points. I think Santa Clara should be favored as they're currently on a 6-game win streak. They're scoring a ton of points right now. They're hitting their shots at a great rate. We saw that last game against Pepperdine, 15 from 33 from 3, 46% en route to that double-digit win. And San Francisco, I think defensively a good team, but like I said, shot quality-wise, not fantastic defensively. They're giving up some high percentage looks. Loyola Marymount just wasn't able to cash in on those opportunities. They missed a ton of threes. It was 16% three-point rating, 64% from the free throw line. You're not going to win a game on the road in conference play with those types of numbers. But Santa Clara, a top 100 three-point shooting team, top 100 free throw shooting team. Like I said, the experience from last year, they returned almost their entire team. I like Santa Clara and this one to pull off the outright upset, if you want to call it an upset. You can take the plus money on the money line or take the points with the Broncos. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and put those college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.